If you're looking at this video, you are probably trying to find the secrets to the Amazon writing assignment. And what I'm going to tell you, it's not been said in, well, I clicked on 5 of the top videos for that search term on YouTube. Welcome back to Interview At, where we teach you how to use the Amazon leadership principles to land your dream job. And in these office hour videos, what I do is I focus on questions that I get during the follow-up sessions from the free mock interviews that we do at interviewyat.com. And one of those questions was about the writing assignment. And yeah, I did a search and I spent a whole 15 or 20 minutes watching the top 5 videos, and there's some really good content out there. The Amazon interview whiz, I think her name is Gigi, good content, good talk about structure and how to think about it. Holly Lee, a former recruiter, okay, decent content. Dan Kreuter, never worked at Amazon, but okay, decent content. But I'm going to break the bank for many of you. This video will get literally tens, maybe hundreds of views because I don't have the same audience, but that's okay. For the few of you who found this, what I'm about to tell you is going to put you into a much different stratosphere in terms of how your writing assignment is assessed. And here's the thing. Amazon focuses on the leadership principles. You know this, you understand this. And what is the number one Amazon leadership principle? Customer obsession. So how can you demonstrate that you are customer obsessed about working at Amazon? Think about it. How could you do that with your writing assignment? Writing at Amazon, super critical. If you're going to have a meeting at Amazon, there's a document driving that meeting. It's because you're making a decision. Every meeting at Amazon revolves around a document. They don't use PowerPoint. I thought that was crazy when I first went to Amazon. I was coming from Microsoft. I thought, oh my God, Microsoft is driven on PowerPoint. How am I going to survive? And it turns out it's just a much better way to communicate, but that's neither here nor there. But just remember, writing is super critical. It's why they have the writing assignment. And yet none of the videos are about to tell you what I'm about to tell you, okay? Here's how you solve the problem of I aced the writing interview. Do it in the FAQ format. Do it in the FAQ format. Well, what is the FAQ format? There are so many videos about Amazon and the writing and the documents inside the company. There's plenty of videos. This is not a secret how they run their company. Every meeting starts with a document. What is the problem we're here to solve? Who is the customer? Why is this important? Why haven't we solved it before? What resources we need? It's a set of FAQ questions. It's the questions that you should be able to answer for yourself in order to drive to a decision. That's it. It's a digital artifact that can live on beyond the meeting so that someone who wasn't there can read the document and understand the discussion that was had in the room. That's why they do it. But here is the thing about all of the advice I see on the internet, but these writing assignments, none of them suggest you do this one thing, which is you understand how Amazon operates. Give them a document in a format that they understand. It will floor them. Floor them. How do I know this? Here's the funny thing. When I left Amazon, I've helped a variety of companies in working with Amazon, and one of them was trying to go and negotiate better terms on some items that they were selling through their Amazon store, and there was a whole bunch of problems. We led the meeting with an Amazon formatted document. It was such a better discussion. They wanted to show up with a crazy PowerPoint and a bunch of slides, blah, blah. That's not how Amazon operates. So when you're customer obsessed about Amazon, you say to yourself, I really want to work here. Write the document in the format that they expect. That's how they run all their meetings. So why not do exactly that? So look, the question that you get, and I actually found my writing sample from greater than 10 years ago. But the question was, what is the most innovative or inventive thing you've ever built? Okay, I think they still use that question, if I'm being honest, which speaks to the longevity and the durability of the process. But I think of it as a star format because it's just an interview question. So yes, GG is correct. Star format, situation, task, action, result. That's how you should think about your content. But frame the document around the structure of an FAQ. So in terms of how you think about the questions you're going to ask, number one question, what is the problem we're trying to solve and for what customer, right? Start with that. And from there, your questions will follow. Set up the situation and task. Why was this problem important? Why hadn't it been solved in the past? How is this impacting customers? How did we know it was a problem? How did it surface to the team? There's a bunch of questions you can ask yourself. Right? Just list out the questions. Don't worry about the writing just yet. The action. What did you do? Why was this the task or the path that you chose? What alternatives did you consider and reject? How did you know you were going to be successful? What telemetry or data or framework did you put in place to measure the results of what you were trying to do along the way? Who did you consult outside of your team to determine if this was the right path? What resources did you need to bring in? How could you have done this for less resources given the value of hindsight? Okay. And then the result. What happened? Why was it good? How do you know it was still good? What are the long-term results? What did you learn from this? What did the company take away from the set of questions? Write out all the questions. Just list them out. Number one rule at Amazon, you either have a 2-page document or a 6-page document. This writing assignment is a 2-page document, max. That's it. And every document at Amazon should be as long as it needs to be, but not one word longer, which means write everything out, ruthlessly edit. Get rid of all superlatives. It was unbelievably large growth. No, we had growth of, and then use a metric. That's the Amazon way. They don't want superlatives, they want data. We grew at 15% is very different than we had amazing growth. Year over year was, we did some amount, blah, 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 blah. You can use a lot of words versus we had 15% year over year growth. It's a metric, it's clear, there's no superlatives, move on. So again, to sum up, this is the path to your success in your writing assignment. Demonstrate that you are customer obsessed by delivering the document in the format that Amazon expects. 2, contain the information, rather, I guess the word is constrain the information to the length that they would expect for such a thing. 2 pages. You don't need more than that to talk through whatever writing assignment you have. 3, make sure you write well. That's super important. So write a lot and then trim down because that's how you're going to get your best ideas. 4, follow the STAR format because this is an interview question in written form. So you want to follow the same format and progress linearly through the story to communicate what it is you're trying to communicate, but do so in a way that's easy to follow. And 5, this is critically important. Use metrics, but also avoid superlatives. Because when you do that, you are speaking to your customer, Amazon, in a language they understand, in a format they understand, in the expectation and hope that you convince them you can work there. If you do this, your writing sample will stand out. That is a lock. It's a lock.